Hi, I'm Rahul, and in this video we will learn how to import data in your R session. The data may be various types, maybe a flat file like a text file where observations are in rows and variables may be in a column, maybe a tidy data or may not be a tidy data, or say Excel files or databases, then files stored in the web or websites, then output or files from statistical softwares like SPSS or SAS. You can load those data and manipulate in R using the R programming language. In this video, I will divide the whole video into 4 sections. First, the reading data or files using base R functions, like those functions are comes under utils package, that is comes under base R. And then the next segment would be, or second segment would be based on loading data using readr package. Third segment, reading Excel files, and fourth segment or fourth section would be importing or downloading data from web or websites. So for the first segment, let's start with reading data using Hbase functions or base R functions that comes under utils package. And to do that, you need some files that you want to read from your local storages. And to read, you have to first define the directory where those files are stored. Say in my case, the data is stored in this directory, that is such import data. You can see these are the files I have created to show you how you can load those files into your R session from your local storage. So first you have to set the directory where you have saved those data. And to set the directory as a default directory, use the current working directory, use the set wd, set working directory, and here you give the path. And if you press Ctrl Enter and use the get working directory function, then it will show that this directory has been fixed, or now fixed as your default directory from where you can load those data. And first I will show the reading data with comma separated values. That means the files where the values are separated with comma under each observations. So here I will use the base R functions under utils package. So first we will load the data, or I have created iris underscore CSV dataset, that is iris underscore CSV. Using a .csv function is there because it is a comma separated value. So to read that data, you can use the base R package, that is util package, such a read.csv function. And this read.csv function will read that data. To read that, use the read.csv function under this such parenthesis, keep the iris underscore csv dot csv, and inside the quotation, and I'm saving this in iris underscore data. If you press Ctrl Enter, it will load the data. You can see here 150 observations and 5 variables. If you use a head function and supply this object where you have saved the data, it will show the first 6 observations. So sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and species. You can also see the structure if you use the str function. Here these 4 measurements are numeric and species as a factor. Why it is a factor? Because while loading, it automatically converts or store it as a factor in its read.csv under read.csv function. You can also turn off this conversion, like a string. If you use a argument which separated with comma, strings as factor equal false under read.csv function, and again read the data in iris underscore data, and use the head function, and you will say that the data is now loaded. And if you see the structure, now you can see the species is a character. It's not converted into a factor. So there are other read.csv functions are available, like read.csv2, that provides you the separated with semicolon and it's a decimal place rather than dot with comma. In some countries, such as this is the standard measure where instead of dot they use comma. So you directly use this such a function read.csv2 to load this kind of data. Next say you want to load a file that is not comma separated but tab separated. that is also called the tab separated file. And to load, you can directly use the base R function, that is such a read.delim. If you see the tab separated files or read.delim functions in help section, you will see that by default it sets to tab separated with separated equal to /t. That means it's tab separated. And header is true and decimal equal to dot. If header set to false, then R by default assigning column names like v1, v2, v3, v4. So here I have one data iris underscore tsv dot text. Inside the text file, the values are tab separated. So I'm reading this data using read.delim function, that is comes under base R, and inside give the file iris underscore tsv dot text inside a quotation. And I'm saving this in iris underscore tab and showing this such a object using head function that will show the first 6 rows. And now you can see it read the file that is separated with a tab. If you have tab separated file, but say that tab separated file have no header or no column name. I have one data set iris underscore without header underscore tsv, that is wwh underscore tsv dot text, and I want to read that data. Here we have to give the argument with comma header equal to false, because this doesn't have any header name or column names. So if you read that data and save and see the head, then you can see that R by default has assigned some column names v1, v2, v3, v4 or header v5. And if you see the structure, again 4 numeric 1 factor. In addition to that, while reading the data, you can also assign also define the column names along with the column classes. Say we want to load this data that has no header or column names, and we are also stating that header equal to false, and with comma we are assigning the column names with a character vector that contains a column name, sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and species with comma. Then we are specifying the class. What would be the column class? The first 4 would be numeric, and we want that the v5, that is the species, should be in character. So here the character under column classes. And again we are using the read.delim as we are reading the tab separated values and saving in iris underscore tab underscore without header. And if you read the data and see the structure, now the column names has been assigned, and this such a species is now a character vector. If you have this comma separated values or tab separated values, then your life would be so much easy. But if it's not, say you want to read a exotic type of data that don't contain this such a common type of comma or say semicolon type of separation or tab separation. Say it is a space, or say it is a forward slash or backward slash, anything else. So at that case you can use the mother function, that is read.table function. So this is the mother function, and under this mother function the read.csv and read.tsv or read.csv and read.delim are the wrapper function that already included what kind of separation you want, like read.delim tab separated, read.csv comma separated values. So read.table, in read.table you can put more customization, like what would be the separation. You can define as per your data requirement, or as per the data, how the data is stored in your file, like whether it is a space separated or it is a forward slash separated. So you can define here. By default the header is false in this function, and separation is with space, and this decimal is point or dot. So here we will use, rather than directly importing from our working directory, you can directly define the file path. So this is the file path up to the iris without header underscore tsv.text, and you can pass this to the file.path and save under this path function, path object. And if you see the path, now you can see that is the path up to the file, that is .txt file. And again now we are using the read.table function and giving the path where the file stored or path up to the file, and with comma separate equal to inside the quotations slash t, that's tab separated. And if you save this or run this, it will load the data in iris header false as it is without header. And if you see the head with the head function, you can see it has provided v1, v2, v3, v4 and v5, the default name by r. And you can also read the file using read.table and provide the column.names vector for specifying the column name such while reading the data and saving inside iris underscore with underscore column. And if you use the head function to see, now you can see that the column now names has been specified. So thanks for watching, and this is the just base R functions, how you can use the base R functions to load or import data from your local storage. And in next we will discuss about the readr package and data.table such a thread function for faster importing data importing. Thanks.